I have no legato.
But everything's picked.
Everything's picked, you know? You know, like that's all picked.
So you're getting ultimate tone and, you know, resonance and sustain there.
Just pick something and don't change it.
I think a lot of it had to do with the amount that I was playing live.
It's almost like putting tacks on the piano keys. It just gives you that ping.
On that Gibson open book headstock design, really nice touch.
That's gonna open up a whole other world of possibilities outside of that pentatonic box.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, which I have not got to ask you yet, and I've been kind of personally digging, is the Eric Johnson influence.
Oh yeah,
And
for me,
the
it's
cascading pentatonic thing.
it's the two Erics for me.
It's
Clapton
and
Johnson.
Okay.
Eric Johnson, which you just had a birthday.
That's right. Yes.
I always text him on his birthday and say, Eric, thank you for the inspiration, and I owe you a royalty check for all the shit I've stole from you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he has a much more fluid legato than I had. So I'm like my faster playing is really like I derive from Eric's style and a little bit of Al Di Meola.
Okay.
You know, like I have no legato.
But everything's picked.
Everything's picked. You know. You know, like that's all picked.
So they call this cascading pentatonics, is that right? Well, I don't know what it's called, but like, is it like what is it?
The definition of I always thought it's either a dishwasher detergent, or means to go down, right? So cascading, so cascading pentatonic. You know, I mean, I guess going down.
That's fantastic. Yes.
Or ascending pentatonics would be going up.
Going up.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a note that's being repeated, or there's a note that goes back and then goes forward again. There's like a theme.
Well, you have blocks.
Yeah.
You have stations. You know, it's like I learned every key, every fretboard. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just know if I need an E note.
Right.
You know, that's not to say it's the right way to do it. It's just a way to do it.
Sure.
You know, there's a guitar player that feels that you're not a musician unless you can just pull it out of your.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, ask B.B. King.
Well, I got you. Right. I see what you're saying.
Ask B.B. King what he thought of that. But no, it's good to have it's like, you know, it's like a transcontinental flight. You know, you've seen a lot of ocean. Okay, but you don't know is there's a few islands along the route, which there's something wrong with the plane. You can land it. That's what you want to do.
Right.
Find an island. You know, it's like if you know, bring the key V. You know. Okay, so maybe you're stuck here. You know, and then so you just know there's a position here to land.
Yes. Yeah, I see a lot of that in between.
And then all else fail, just go. You know.
Yes. With the Bigsby.
And by the way, when all else fails, just stop. It's better than clamming.
And here we have the 1963 Firebird 5 with Maestro Vibrola reissue in this awesome Polaris white finish. This guitar just screams stadium tour to me. I don't know why, but you know, this is definitely a machine here for a big tour, it looks like, right? We've got a 9-ply mahogany and walnut neck, which is going through that body. So you're getting ultimate tone and you know, resonance and sustain there with that piece of wood touching the body at the same time. Really impressive there. Rounded C profile, and you've got soft fretboard edges on this, so it's really comfy. Feels like a broken in guitar, right? Like playing this guitar, it really feels like my hand can go around it with no sharp fingerboard edges or anything like that. We've got mother of pearl inlays, just to add to that regal touch there. Really nice to see that. And on the back, you'll notice Clouson planetary geared banjo tuners. The real deal there. Really nice. That's gonna be tuning stability 101 right there for anyone that's gonna own this guitar. Really great. And you've got that Epiphone ABR1 bridge. And last, you've got that Maestro Vibrola here, adding that vibrato if needed to chords or to single note runs. Let's hear a little bit more. Could you give us a little example of just how to be a clean slide player? Because I always struggle with how to not make it sound like there's like a rattling behind it. You
Well,
know?
all of us struggle with that.
Yeah.
So what I say to people is when you're first getting it going, first of all, just pick something, okay?
Okay, so glass,
Because-
metal, brass, whatever.
When you're learning, it's not going to matter at all. Okay?
Okay.
Pick something and don't change it. Because if you think of this like a weight, like if you're in the gym and this is a weight, don't be changing it every 2 days. Like you need consistency, right?
Sure.
So pick something that for whatever reason works. And same thing with the finger. If that feels more comfortable to you, then do that. If that feels comfortable, it doesn't matter.
Copy that, okay.
Pick it. So start with the inside strings. The G and the D string are the ones that are going to be the easiest to get to sound clean first, okay? Just being able to do that is kind of like step one, okay? And then what I would suggest, and this is if you're wanting to learn in standard tuning, which is because my goal was I wanted to be able to just pick it out of my pocket whenever I want.
Yes.
And that's what I do at this point. So you start like that's a triad. So that's your D triad. So A, B, C, D. So pick one, you know. So you can like pick an easy lick like that. And pick stuff. And try and play what your fingers are doing. Eventually start to fan out and include the B string and the E. That's the E. The high E is the hardest thing to do is to be able to do that. You know, let alone. But one day you will do it, and you just gotta just sit there. I mean, I did that for months. And then when I first could do, I couldn't go up like Dwayne Allman, you know? So like, and it just gets gradually better. But if you start in the middle like that and try and like, say you're playing a shuffle, like you can get away without going up here in the very beginning. Like you can make music, which is what I did for a while. But that's the best. And then this whole thing is,
I was going to ask you about that.
Everybody's different. So I always cup, because I'm always going back and forth between playing with my fingers and playing with a pick, that I just naturally cup it in because I just use these two fingers.
Those two, yeah.
And essentially you just want to dampen what notes you don't want to ring,
And
which
you're
is a
dampening
bitch.
with these two on that hand, or is it this hand?
I'm rarely dampening on
that
this.
hand?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Usually I'm leaving it. Well, all right. So if I'm playing something like George Harrison,
Yeah.
where I want it very precise and clean, then I will use those. But most of the time, I want the the harmonics behind the bar to come through.
Yeah, sure.
But here I'm either using the side of my thumb to cover the strings I'm not, or I'm using my index finger if I'm down on a lower string, and I'm just cupping it where I'm covering the top string. So I'm either doing that or I'm doing that. That's what I do.
Gotcha.
Everybody, what works for one doesn't work for everyone.
That
so
makes
it's
total
like,
sense.
But like right there, I'm holding all those, and I'm holding the high E with my index finger.
Okay.
Or if I'm like, I'm not having to worry about those, but
Sure.
I'm holding the outside ones. I'm holding the rest of the guitar, but I'm using. And it's like anything. It's like riding a bike. You just got to take your time.
Right. No, dude, that was great because you gave me the instant gratification for us with the D and the G.
Yes.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
And your action is a little bit higher anyways because you're incorporating the slide in a certain percentage of your playing. So
That's right.
You want that to always be there for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a double-sided thing. Like I said, it's not specifically for that, but it definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. No, it's great because that's a great little lesson there on the slide stuff. Yeah, because that high E, man,
It's a bitch.
That's
It's a bitch. It takes a long time. It takes a long time, but just hang in there.
That's great.
You get the call one day. What does it take to be ready? What were the steps that you think may have helped to be ready for that call? Because I know when something like that comes up, it can be overwhelming to some people. It can be, it's a lot to take in.
I think a lot of it had to do with the amount that I was playing live. I really do. You play differently live. You get one shot at the song.
Yeah.
You build up. It's a different way of playing. You're playing to people, so there's no redo. You don't get reliant on. The way we record in studios these days. There's the redo button. You can go over Control Z. You can erase that.
Or you can go piece by piece.
Yeah, you can.
You don't even have to do a full take.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So live, you don't get that comfort, and you become seasoned with that mindset.
Right.
And I think doing that 4 or 5 nights a week in front of people religiously every day, through thick and thin, through those frustrations that I told you about, I think that really had a big part to play in why I felt like I had a chance. I had a shot at it.
What was the audition like?
Pretty laid back.
Really?
Pretty
Okay.
laid back, yeah. I went up and met the guys. I had to borrow the train fare from my mother because I didn't have the train fare to get up there. And I went up and I met the management. I met Glenn and Rob, and we discussed, what they wanted, and they asked me what I wanted, and that was the first indication.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the first
Holy,
indication
okay.
to me that they wanted a member of the band. They wanted someone with an opinion and ideas and their own thoughts, and
Not just a hired gun.
right. And that was there was more of that to come, but that was my first indication. Looking back on it, that was my first indication that they wanted someone. What did I want? I'm like, I wasn't expecting that sort of question. So we discussed that, and then we went up in the studio, and they plugged me in. Glenn plugged me in through a rig. I can't remember what it was. It was like some processor thing. And he said, "Get your sound together. I'm going to go and make a coffee, and I'll come back up in 10 minutes." So he went downstairs. The studio was upstairs, and he went downstairs. And unbeknownst to me, he stood at the bottom of the stairs and listened as I warmed up. And he said subsequently that he knew then and there, like the search was over. Well, it was a good thing. I didn't have Glenn Tipton sitting there.
Yeah.
'Cause what'd you play?
Yeah.
But I mean, he came in afterwards and he said, like, we've seen some YouTube stuff. We know your history. I've been out with Iron Maiden, and I'm familiar with big stages. You knew a bit of my history. You knew I could play.
Right.
And he actually said he'd be embarrassed if he sat in front, like we're sitting. It was like this. He said he'd be embarrassed. He wouldn't know what to play.
Sure.
And I said to him, Glenn, you don't get opportunities like this every day. This is what you aspire. Like you said, it's like cliche. You aspire to be as good as these guys, but you don't think you're ever going to get the call. And if I can't think of something to play right now, then I might as well give up.
Yeah.
You're not going to get another chance like this.
The game is you want to be ready for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready. If I can't think of something to play now, I might as well pick another
Sure.
path.
So now we're going to compare this Epiphone IGC Les Paul to this Gibson Custom Shop model.
My sound on electric is really based on the articulation points of a guitar unplugged. I can't have any kind of squish.
Oh, interesting.
Or the recovery rate of the note has to be fast because I'm picking everything.
That's what I was going to just say. Okay.
So
got it.
I'm not like,
Right. So the front end is fast. You need the back end of the amp to be fast too.
I need the note to come back and be ready for the next one.
Right. Okay.
You
That
know,
makes
so
sense.
that's why I use lower gain. You know, I use a lot of gain, but I use lower gain and an amp that normally has less gain than the main amp, just so it kind of cuts through and gives you that kind of. It's almost like putting tacks on the piano keys. It just gives you that ping and that articulation. And because if I have an amp that is too gainy and too squishy, I'm kind of out of business.
Okay.
Because I'm waiting, I'm waiting around. So it's for me, it's easier to play fast, clean. Yeah. It's easier for me to play fast, clean. So if I had, this is much more difficult. Let's see if I can make this. It's like, it doesn't. Bad example, but it's that's more difficult than just using the clean chain.
Interesting, because
And that's why I tend to use it. But this amp recovers fast. Some amps don't recover that fast.
Interesting, because you would think the gain would make it, easier to play with the compression.
For some.
Yeah. Right.
But it gets a little loose,
Oh, wow.
As opposed to.
Oh wow, I could hear there's more definition.
There's more definition.
Yeah.
So, but there's good like Steve Morris was another one of my favorite guitar players growing up. He had those 4-note. Chromatic stuff, which I don't do very well, but like it's great, and he used to. If you watched him, he had that Music Man guitar.
Yes,
and,
that's
and
right.
He had that Blue Music Man guitar, and he had all those different pickups jammed in there. So he'd be go, It's a terrible example of Steve's playing, poor guy. Poor guy. But you know what I mean? He was constantly flicking different sounds because you're creating statements.
Right.
And you're not doing things that are, you're not just playing fast for the sake of playing fast.
Right.
You're creating different enough with Mr. Gain today. But yeah, that's one of the great things about guitar. It's such an expression.
I love an unboxing moment. This is so exciting. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Oh my God! That's sick! I did not expect blue. For some reason I thought it'd be yellow, but my intuition was off. Bigsby? It's got like an aged pickup too. This is a killer configuration, I just have to say. You got the clean P90 in the neck and then just the regular humbucker in the bridge. Oh my God, this is so different. And then the saddles are like, I need to know the specs. What are the specs? Can I play it first? This is a stunning 1964 ES345 sapphire mist finish, and I'm in love. I've never seen this finish before, and it's like super striking.
Could you just give me an example of how you took that pentatonic and then kind of just went outside the box and went somewhere with it? Just kind of while I maybe just jam on that for a second, just to kind of give us a little break on how to walk outside.
Well, I'll tell you a good, if you want, just hit me a big E minor.
Yeah.
Just give me that. So, a good way for you to walk outside a little bit, and this is where I always start whenever I'm teaching somebody. First place to start would be, you're in E minor, so just, Dorian is always a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
So just go down to D major. So that's going to open up a whole other world of possibilities outside of that pentatonic box.
That's fantastic.
But it's not too far removed.
Yeah.
And it makes you, overwhelmed or intimidated, like you said.
That's a fantastic move, and the way you just explained it to me is very simple.
Let's check this puppy out, shall we? Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Look at that finish, bro. This reminds me of like 1950s pools, like swimming pools. You know what I mean? Don't you just want to dive into this? I want to dive into this. All right, you guys, where's the amp, man? Let me go. Can I go? Wicked, man. Well, look, man, I really like this 68 Custom. It's beautiful. And you said that this was like a hand mix finish, and it's jade green. You don't see too many of these. Custom buckers, they always sound nice. They sound even prettier when you got a finish like this. You gotta like feel good before you're playing good, I think. And this makes me feel pretty damn good. I mean, you got like the vintage profile on the frets too. The neck is super comfortable. I mean, I doubt this is gonna like not be comfortable in anyone else's hands. Like, it's one size fits all. That's the neck. It's beautiful that way. It's like a bowl of mac and cheese. It's comfort, baby.
Last year, working on the Springsteen movie, they asked me, in my many duties, asked if I would teach Jeremy Allen White to play guitar. And my honest thing was like, I have no idea. Like, I think I can.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll do my best,
Sure.
you know? And so like, I had to like really step back like a lot because I understood like the pressure of wanting to set him up to win. And it just became evident very quickly that it's like there's no fast way. Like, and I think it was like the first week of us working together, or second week or something where I just was like, dude, I just want to be honest with you and just say that it's all on you and how many hours you're going to put into it. Like, because I was like, you will sit as a guitar player, you will sit and, you know, like you will sit and play a phrase not even that long for days.
Yeah.
For days.
Yeah.
And like a total lunatic, like a psycho. And then it finally clicks and it finally you can do it.
And here we have the 1964 SG Standard with the Maestro Vibrola reissue here in that awesome cherry red. You know this guitar, it's another voice of rock and roll here. I think of Angus Young, I think of you know, Derek Trucks, I think of George Harrison. The list just keeps going on and on with SG players, right? This guitar features a mahogany body, a one-piece solid mahogany neck there for that just solid construction. Long neck tenon on this model. So again, you've got that longer piece of wood going from the neck to the body, creating more of that sustain and resonance, right? Slim taper neck. I mean, that neck is lightning fast, super easy to play. Bound rosewood fingerboard, finally on this model for Epiphone. Mother of pearl inlays, nice touch there. Even on that headstock logo there for the Epiphone, on that Gibson open book headstock design. Really nice touch. Got the Epiphone Deluxe tuners on the back for that tuning stability. Let's hear a little bit more. So you were hearing a pair of Gibson custom buckers. We've got some CTS pots, got Black Beauty paper and oil caps. So you've got those premium electronics in this guitar already, right? This guitar also comes with the hard case. Now, the biggest thing that you're gonna notice here is that Maestro Vibrola. Really great, you know, addition to have on a guitar like this. You can do your vibrato, you know, maybe you're into surf or you just wanna have a little more control on your notes or even on chords. I love having a guitar with the Vibrola or any type of tremolo system on here. So you can't go wrong with the SG. I love the slim body style. It's a lot easier to navigate. You know, it gets to your body a lot closer so you can get over on top of that guitar, right? So really great to have in any collection here, especially if you're looking for something that's a little smaller, slimmer, and easy to navigate. a great little guitar to add to any collection. Like I said, that smaller, tighter body shape really lends to acoustic that really sits nicely in the mix, right? And for all of you out there, you know, maybe even kids or people with smaller frames, you know, I think the Parlor is a great size to navigate with. Just an awesome little acoustic, and I like the fact that it's in this straight ahead version.
Hey there, I'm Jade Simo, and I got this beautiful 64 reissue 345 because of the parallelograms. So this is in a special color, bronze mist, which is just beautiful with the metal flake in it. Reminds me of old car culture. To me, kind of looks like lowrider, like what I'd see on an old Riviera or something like that. And then pickup-wise, we have a custom bucker here, which is normal, and we have a dog ear P90 right here. It's the smaller mouse ears from the 60s, not the bigger ones that would have been in the 50s. Nylon saddles, which I tend to prefer, but they were what came on 60s guitars for the most part that Gibson was making. I like the way it sounds clean, like if you're trying to sound like Jimmy Nolan or Leo Nocentelli from the Meters or something.